Welcome in, everyone, to Lively Lewis Stories.
That's right, we're back with even more awesome adventures with Levi and Ivy.
Set your storytime meter to fun and get ready to join the Lively Lewis crew.
All you need is your imagination and...
Off we go!
I can't wait to see where our story takes us today.
Have you ever wanted to get more Lively Lewis in your life?
Well, we've got you covered.
Grab an adult and zoom over to livelylewisshop.com.
Or just click on the link in our show notes.
Enough about that. Let's get to today's super Lively Lewis story.
Ivy ran around the house carrying a colorful flower clipboard and a marker in her hand. She had been working on something all day, and everyone was pretty sure they knew what it was. My birthday! Exclaimed Ivy as she jotted down notes on her clipboard. Will be the best birthday ever! Levi just sat on the couch and watched as his sister drew up a plan for what her birthday party would look like. Right down to the tiniest detail, like where the napkins would go and where each friend would sit when they watched her open her presents. Zeta and Lila have to sit right up front, said Ivy with a smile. They already requested front row seating so they could see all the cool stuff I get. Ivy, don't you think you're going a little overboard planning out your party? Asked Levi as he looked at the book on the couch. Isn't the most important thing that all your friends are together, everyone's happy, and everyone is having a good time? You don't need to plan out every single second. Yes, Levi, you're right, said Ivy. And for everyone to be happy and have a good time, my party has to go perfectly. That's why I'm making these notes and will work with Mom to make sure this party will be unforgettable. Ivy then called her mom to the dining room to discuss all of her plans. So I was thinking the pony rides could start at noon, and then we could have a bounce house bouncing contest, and then a supersized sundaes, and then presents, and then the concert can start, and then... But before Ivy could finish her description of the greatest birthday party ever, her mom had to stop her. Ivy, I know you're super excited about your party, began her mom. Super duper excited, smiled Ivy. But we can't have all of those things. It's just too much, said her mom. Isn't the most important thing that your friends are together, everyone's happy, and everyone is having a good time? You don't need to plan out every single second. You've been talking to Levi, haven't you? Replied Ivy in a huff. Fine, I guess I can cut out some things, but I need to have a giraffe here, and we need to find a way to make an ice rink in the backyard. But Ivy, it's July, said her mom, sounding like she was losing her patience. Please don't worry, your birthday will be out of this world. Oh, exclaimed Ivy. Good idea, Mom. We could have an intergalactic neon glow-in-the-dark dance party. Ivy ran off, still holding her clipboard, adding to it as she went. The next day at school, Ivy was really excited to talk with her friends about her party and see if they had any other ideas she could add to the list. How about we have a water slide, but instead of water, it's slime, suggested Zeta. I like it, said Ivy, adding it to the list on her clipboard. How about a chocolate fountain? Suggested Victoria. Too small, and everyone has one of those at their parties, but good thought, replied Ivy. I wasn't finished, said Victoria. How about a chocolate fountain the size of a real fountain, and we can dip marshmallows in it the size of bowling balls? I love it, shouted Ivy. The girls continued to talk when suddenly Ivy asked where Lila was. I didn't see her on the bus, so I guess she's out again today, said Zeta. Ivy had been so busy planning her birthday party that she didn't really notice how many days Lila had been absent until she began to talk more with her friends. Yeah, Lila hasn't been here since last week, said Victoria as she got ready to head inside since recess was almost over. But it's Friday, said Ivy, stepping out of the party planning bubble. That means she's been out all week. Ivy sounded a little concerned, and for the first time in a long time, she started thinking of something other than her birthday party. Ivy ran inside at the end of recess and asked her teacher when Lila was coming back and why she'd been out of school for so long. Ivy's teacher said she couldn't discuss that with her and suggested she reach out to her friend after school. Ivy sat down at her desk and couldn't focus on anything else for the rest of the day. As soon as she got home, she ran right to her mom and told her about Lila. She's been absent for a week, Mom. That's not good, said Ivy. I hope she's not super sick. But what if she is and can't make it to my party next week? Ivy, I think we have more important things to think about than your party, said Ivy's mom. I'll call over to Lila's house and see what's going on. Ivy watched as her mom called Lila's mom. They had a long conversation, and Ivy's mom kept saying things like, "Let us know how we can help," and "Call me anytime." When she finished on the phone, Ivy's mom told Ivy to come sit with her. "So I figured out what's been going on," began Ivy's mom. "Lila's mom just had surgery, and it's taking her longer than she thought to get back on her feet. Lila's dad has been really busy at work and can't stay home to help her during the day, so Lila's been helping out. That's why she hasn't been at school." "Oh no," replied Ivy. "I'm really sorry to hear that. Imagine all the classwork and homework she'll have to make up from this week." "Actually, Lila is all caught up," said Ivy's mom. "Her mom called your teacher at the beginning of the week, and she's been sending all her work home for Lila to complete. I wish I had known. I could have helped her out. The new math lesson we just started is kind of confusing," said Ivy. "Well, I think the reason you didn't know is because you didn't reach out to Lila after she had been out for a couple of days," started her mom. "I think the only thing you were thinking about was your birthday party." "I guess you're right," said Ivy. "And speaking of my party, did Lila's mom say she could still come? I'm sure Lila won't want to miss the giant chocolate fountain. That was a new suggestion by Victoria today." Ivy's mom just looked at her with a confused expression on her face. "Ivy, we're not talking about your party anymore," she said. "We're focusing on Lila and her family right now, and you're going to help me make something to take over there for them to have for dinner tonight. What's Lila's favorite food?" Ivy said, having to think for a minute. She's been focused so much on herself lately, it was difficult to think of anyone else. "At school, Lila's always really excited for pizza day," said Ivy finally. "Great, let's run to the store for some ingredients," said her mom. "You're going to help me make pizza." Ivy definitely wanted to help her friend, but she also wanted to think up some new ideas for her party. Her mom stood by the door, and Ivy knew the right thing to do. She grabbed her coat and walked out the door, but she still couldn't help but think of herself and her party. Once at the store, Ivy walked up and down the aisles with her mom collecting ingredients to make homemade pizza. "We should make pizza for my party," said Ivy out of nowhere. "No, wait. Everyone could make their own personal pizza. That would be even better. We could turn the kitchen into a pizzeria and—" But before Ivy could finish talking about her grand pizza party, her mom interrupted her. "Ivy, this isn't about you right now. We're getting food for Lila and her family because it's the right thing to do and they need our help," said Ivy's mom. "Please focus on what's truly important right now. Thank you." And with that, Ivy's mom walked ahead to grab some mozzarella cheese. Ivy didn't like the way she felt at that moment. She was only thinking of herself and her birthday party. She couldn't believe it had taken her so long to even notice that Lila wasn't in school. She should have reached out sooner. But instead of feeling bad about the things she couldn't change, Ivy decided to take action and be the best friend she could be to Lila right then. So moving forward, Ivy stopped talking about her birthday party and started to focus on Lila and her family. Ivy explained this all to her mom and apologized for the way she'd been acting. She grabbed some olives, remembering those were Lila's favorite pizza topping, and off they headed to the register. Once at home, Ivy worked along with Levi, her mom, and her dad to make the best pizza ever for Lila and her family. When they were finished, she jumped in the car with her mom and headed over to drop them off. Ivy ran up and knocked on Lila's door once they arrived. When her friend opened the door, she gave her a big hug. Ivy could tell that Lila was very happy to see her. "Lila, it's so great to see you. I've missed you at school," said Ivy. "I've missed you too, Ivy," replied Lila, but then she got a little quiet. "What's wrong?" Ivy asked. "Well, I kind of thought you forgot about me," Lila began. "I was out for so long, but I didn't hear from you at all. It made me sad. And when my mom said your mom called because you wanted to see me, it made me really happy." Ivy felt really good hearing Lila say that, but was also sad that she made her friend feel bad in the first place. "I'm so sorry I made you feel that way, Lila, but I'm glad I can see you now," said Ivy. "We made you pizza for dinner, all of your favorite." Lila was super excited and asked Ivy and her mom to stay for dinner. Her mom said that it would be fine, and after they ate, Lila and Ivy ran upstairs to her room to play while Ivy's mom helped Lila's mom with a few things around the house. "The pizza was great. Thank you, Ivy," said Lila. "It's been tough with my mom not feeling her best. I've had to help out a lot because my dad isn't able to get time off of work. It was really nice of you to stop by," said Ivy. But as she was playing with Lila, she saw a get well balloon in the hallway, and it made her think about her birthday party. Ivy got super excited all over again and couldn't help but talk about it with Lila. "So are you excited about my party next Saturday?" asked Ivy. "We're going to have so much cool stuff going on." Lila's smile quickly turned into a frown and she stopped playing. Ivy asked what was wrong, and Lila told her. I can't make it to your party anymore, said Lila. My dad will be gone all day for work next Saturday, and I have to stay here and help my mom. I'm sorry, but my dad is taking next week off, so I'll be back at school, and then my grandmother isn't flying in next Sunday to stay with my mom for a couple of weeks. She should be good after that. Ivy didn't know what to say. Not having Lila at her party would make her feel sad. She was one of her best friends, and she wanted her to be there to celebrate with. But very quickly, a new feeling washed over Ivy. This situation was not all about her. Lila really wanted to go to her party and was really upset that she had to miss it. But maybe Ivy could fix that. Don't worry, I think I know a way that you can make it to my party, said Ivy as she ran into the living room where she asked her mom if she could talk with her. Mom, do you think we can switch my party to the Saturday after next week? Asked Ivy. We could, but we've already made a lot of plans already. I'll have to cancel the bounce house and the pony rides. Those things are all booked up now, so we wouldn't be able to have them at the party on your new day, said her mom. Why do you want to change the date all of a sudden? Because Lila can't make it, and I really want her there, said Ivy. I don't need all that stuff to make my party great. It's like you and Levi said. The really only important thing is that my friends are together, everyone's happy, and everyone is having a good time. That is such a lovely thing for you to do, Ivy, said her mom, giving her a hug. I wouldn't be happy at the party knowing that Lila was upset at home, said Ivy. It just wouldn't be as much fun without her. Ivy's mom agreed to switching the date, and Ivy ran back to tell Lila. Ivy, I can't believe you did that for me. Thank you, said Lila. You've been super duper excited about your party all month. You're really sure you want to wait another week? And what about all the stuff you already ordered, like the bounce house? Can they reschedule? They can't, Lila, but it's okay. I'd rather you be there than some silly bounce house, replied Ivy. We'll have an amazing time at my party, no matter when it is and no matter what things we do when we're there. The most important thing is we'll be together, and I know we'll have fun. Just before she left, Lila thanked Ivy again. I'm so excited for your party, and I know it will be the best time ever, said Lila. Ivy said goodbye to her friend, and she said she would stop over tomorrow to see if she needed anything. For the rest of the night and for the rest of the weekend, Ivy didn't talk about her birthday party at all. When Lila returned to school on Monday, they played together, having the most fun without one word about bounce houses, giant chocolate fountains, or mini personal pizzas. When Ivy got home from school that day, her mom had a special snack waiting for her. Yum! Homemade chocolate chip cookies? What are these for? Asked Ivy. A special treat for my special kiddo, said her mom. I know I told you a bunch of times already, but I'm really proud of the way you acted with Lila. Switching your party showed you have a good heart, and I know it meant a lot to Lila. Thank you, Mommy, said Ivy as she nibbled on a cookie. You learned an important lesson that day, began her mom. The most important thing in life is happiness. Your happiness and the happiness of those around you. And sometimes doing the right thing isn't always the easy or fun choice, but it's always the right choice. And you made the right choice by changing the date of your party to include Lila, even if it meant not having the giant party you had been planning. Ivy's mom gave her daughter a huge hug and sat down with her to enjoy a cookie. Ivy never forgot the words her mom shared with her that day or her birthday party that year. It was the best one ever. From that day on, Ivy always thought of others before herself and strived to make the right choice, even if it wasn't always the easy choice.
Want to start a podcast? Spotify has an easy, free platform called Spotify for Podcasters. Here's how it works. Record and edit your podcast on your phone or computer with ease. Share your podcast on Spotify and all other major platforms. You can even make video podcasts on Spotify. If you want to engage with your audience more, use Q&A and polls. You can earn money through ads and podcast subscriptions. It's completely free, no hidden cost. Give it a try. Visit www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started. We love making our podcast, and working with Spotify has been amazing. Thanks for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the story and learned a little something too.
And since we know everyone has their own story, we'd love to hear yours.
If you have an idea for a Lively Lewis story, leave a comment on our Apple Podcast review page with 5 stars, your idea, and your little one's name.
Then maybe our next adventure will be with you.
Until our next Storytime Hangout.
Thanks for listening. We can't wait to share another fun Lively Lewis story with you.